Hi, Evan.
Hi, Michelle.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Spare Parts. How many episodes is this, Ev?
At least 30.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's very cool. That is a lot of episodes. A lot. It's pretty amazing. If you really think about it, did you think we'd make it to 30 when we started at episode 1? Or were you like, this is a huge mistake?
I don't know. I mean, I think it feels really new at the same time as it feels like old hat.
Oh, wow. That's the perfect place to be.
Yeah.
I think it's working. I think that means it's working.
I think we should keep doing this.
Do you want to keep doing this?
Hey, guys, sound off in the comments if you want to keep doing this.
A bunch of people are like, fucking stop.
Yeah, unsubscribe,
quit 3
unfollow.
weeks ago, you pieces of shit. No, we're so happy to be here, and we're happy to have you guys because honestly, a lot of new exciting things coming to the podcast. We are having a lot of discussions, a lot of, maybe it's just this, maybe it's because it's the spring. I know we're supposed to try and keep these podcasts evergreen, but maybe it's that it feels very new. Everything's like blooming.
Yeah, spring has sprung, I guess.
Wait a second. Whoa. Why is it called autumn then? I get fall, but why is it called autumn? Some Greek shit?
Must be. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I actually don't know. Should we look it up or should we just never learn?
Let's never learn. Also, do you, speaking of fall and spring, do you guys go camping? Are you a camping person?
Take a guess.
I mean, like, I want to say no now, but you live camping. Like, you live on an island surrounded by trees and bees. Like, how do you not
Well, I live full-time in a tent. So, because Vancouver Island, there's no infrastructure here. We don't even have stores.
Actually, I'd believe if you said you had no running water. You just splash.
Everything is just wells. And
you heat up a rock to sleep at night and you cuddle the rock.
We have a barter system. Just a lot of trading. Yeah.
You don't tent? You don't camp?
I'm like a fair weather camper. So if the weather is gorgeous and hot and dry, I will camp for like one night for sure, maybe 2, but there's never a third night.
You're a gorgeous weather camper.
I am. So last summer, actually, we went with a group of friends and it was like the hottest weekend of the summer and there was 30 of us and that was really fun. But both Connor and I were like, okay, like one night was plenty. And then we left the following evening. So we had 2 full days, swam, had a great time, but...
Did you have your own tent or were you guys all sharing so you weren't sharing like 2 giant 10-person tents and just cramming on top of each other like sardines? Okay.
No. And also we had Clementine with us and she loves it so much, obviously, but she doesn't know how to regulate herself because she dumb dog.
Squirrel, bear, water, people, squirrel, bear.
So she doesn't ever rest. And so by the time night comes, the way she pulls into the tent, like face plants into the sleeping bag is it's very funny and very
nice.
Human.
At least she sleeps. Like, at least she's not like awake all night, terrified of every noise in the woods.
No.
Like, what a comfortable dog. You've raised her so happily that she's not afraid of the world around her at night.
Not at all. And she does this very cute thing. I think I've discussed this before, but if you open up your covers, any covers, she's underneath the covers with you. And so in the tent, it's so cute. And she just started doing this in the last 6 months.
How do you not go camping all the time then? If I had like a dog that cuddled me in a cold night in a tent, I would sleep better than ever.
In a little sleeping bag, her and I snout to snout. It's really nice. Yeah. So that makes it worth it. And I do think it's like a fun, I went camping a lot as a child with my cousins and those are great memories. I think I'm just more of a hotel person.
You want a bath.
You
want 7 pillows. You want some room service. I get it. I am also a hotel person, obviously. But recently I've started getting really obsessed with the idea of getting a super fancy tent. Like a tent that will last for the rest of my life. And then I can give to my children if I so ever have children.
Right.
And so I've been looking to canvas tents and I'm like,
Canvas tents?
Yeah. There's this one brand in particular called Spring Bar that operates out of like Salt Lake. I'd have to go to the States to get it. And there are these $2,000 US tents, right? So it's like $3,000 something Canadian. But they're, you can put a stove inside. They last for literally ever. And it would replace the idea of getting like a bunkie at my wife's family's cottage. Because right now there's no space. There's children everywhere. Everyone's families are just getting bigger. And I'm like, how about we get our own little portable home? Let's get like a beautiful tent and we can stay up there every time because we go up all the time.
It's a nice option for sure. And I think, it's all about just having the right stuff. But for me, I'm like, for how little I camp, do I want to have all this stuff in my garage? It's like a whole thing.
See, I already own all the other stuff. Like I have all the sleeping pads and sleeping bags and all this. Because I used to do a lot of portaging. So like transporting lightweight materials. So kind of a different style of camping because you had to like trek with everything on your back. But now I want the glamping life. I want to like really chill.
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely something to it. I just don't like the wetness, like a damp.
Don't you live in the damp though? Like, isn't that what Vancouver Island is?
Victoria, where I live, isn't that damp. It's not like Vancouver. Everyone kind of lumps us together. It's a very different climate. Really? And we're not in a rainforest. So we get so much sun. Yeah, it rains more than like Toronto for sure. But it's not nearly as... I'll say it once. I've said it a million times. Victoria's a really beautiful place to live. You should come check it out.
She came to visit. Speaking of, Michelle just came to visit Toronto.
Yes.
For the Canadian Screen Awards, and she would not shut the. First of all, she was saying very nice things about Toronto for the record.
I love Toronto.
But every time she said something nice about Toronto, she had to follow it up with, "But I love Vancouver. But I love Victoria. But I love Vancouver
I don't live in Vancouver. I don't, and I don't
like
love
I'm not
Vancouver.
even listening to her."
I don't love Vancouver.
Sorry,
you're so defensive.
Okay, tell me about what you don't love about Vancouver. Why don't you love it?
I just find the vibe there is a little bit weird. It's a beautiful city, all of the things. I just like, it's so opulent, and then yet the poverty there is so insane. And it's kind of like this cool casual city, but psych, you have to be worth $10 million to rent an apartment in the East End, or sorry, the West End.
Sometimes I get like ads like on TikTok for people showing apartments in Vancouver. I don't know how I fell into this algorithm, but it's fucking wild.
No, it's wild.
It's wild.
And I think it's like, it's a city for very lucky people. I'm sure that's true for most cities. What I like about Toronto is because it's so big, there are so many options for people. And I know it's not an easy city to live in. I know how expensive it is. I'm not trying to like downplay that.
But you can go further and further out and then eventually be able to afford a place. Like that's because it's spread. Right. It's a sprawl. It's not like one spot.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
It just feels like I had a really great time in Toronto. I love Toronto.
It was so fun having you there. Oh my God.
It was fun.
It felt like Toronto was better with you in it. I'm not going to lie. Yes. It's so fun having it.
The most tender thing you've ever said to me.
But it's true. Like you messaged me one day. You're like, let's go, like, blah, blah, blah. And then we went and then we had Thai, Vietnamese food. We had Vietnamese
That was
food.
so nice.
And we just stopped in at a random place. It was just so nice.
It was nice. And it did remind me that like I do need to come to Toronto more frequently, which is that's kind of what we're working towards.
Might be happening. Who knows? Might be happening.
Because ideally, I'm the type of absolute like elite who gets to have my home base be on Vancouver Island and then go to Toronto for a little bit of work and like have a bit of fun and then come back home. Like that's obviously the dream. And if I can pull it off, I will.
You know what? To be able to afford it, you can sleep in my Spring Bar Skyliner tent when you're visiting Toronto.
I'll sleep on your deck with Julie speaking. I will do it if there's a proper setup, not in the winter, obviously. But this summer,
it's got a hot tent. It's got a stove in it. It's warm.
That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy. It's so cool though. And it heats up. Like that's how we used to live like 150 years ago in these like canvas tents, and we'd like carry them around on our backs. It was like so recently.
I know, we're so soft now.
3 grandfathers ago, that guy was fucking lugging around a tent.
I mean,
he looked exactly like me.
Do you see those TikTok videos of it's always kind of like women going after men that are like being a bit precious, and they're like, you
men
used to go to
war. Sure,
and go to war. We're a little soft. There's no question. But I had such a good time in Toronto. I find the weather, I'll say this, it's a fascinating climate. It's like one day you're so cold and sickly, and then the next day you're also sickly because you're so hot and sweaty.
That's such a nice way of putting it, considering like literally yesterday, it on record recorded the worst air quality in the world.
I saw that.
Because of wildfires happening way up north. It's just the way that the winds come down. So sometimes for a couple days during the summer, you're just like, what the fuck is going on out here? And then I actually got the wildest message on my weather app. I unlocked an achievement. It said mask on. And it was an achievement. Like you're in an area with really poor air quality. I was like,
congratulations.
What the fuck? Why are you gamifying poor air quality like this? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's
fucking weird.
I was also
but I got it.
Well, yeah, you win that one.
Achievement.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just am so, like, I lived in Toronto for a long time, and it's a weird thing. I think especially when you're in a place for like all of your 20s, and then you move away and you're kind of like in a different chapter, but you still have so many ties. I have so many ties, like personally as well as work ties there. My agent's
coming from
there.
one thing to me to another thing. Like you have so much to do when you come to Toronto because you know everybody.
Well, and this is where I need to come to Toronto for like 2 weeks. 6 days was, I'm just today. Okay. I've been home for like 5 days, and now I'm able to like, my body doesn't feel like I went through a battle. Like it was so
We used to go to war, Michelle.
I know.
I was like, I saw my friends for 6 days.
And I'm exhausted. But it is like everywhere takes so long to get to. It's a very intense, and I feel like it's only getting more and more like.
Oh, dude! Every
I'm not to
street
compare.
has a
Like all
condo
New
going up.
Yorkers
It's
are going to be like,
crazy.
"Shut the fuck."
I know, but I've spent time in both, and it's getting
Toronto's
getting more like New York than New York is getting like Toronto. That's for sure.
That's for
Toronto's
sure.
growing. New York is not capable of growing.
It's capped. New York is capped, but Toronto is like really. It's feeling more and more like a big, smelly American city. It just is. And like, I don't say that in a negative way. It has that energy of everyone's like hustling and working like 9 jobs. And
especially
I'm just
where
like,
you were like downtown, like you were spending a lot of time around those people. To be fair, I live in a very neighborhoody kind of Brooklyn of Toronto place. You came to my place, you visited.
I have to say, guys, I want to report Evan does not live in an entirely millennial gray home. So I saw it with my own eyes. It's very nice. It's very chic. You got some corked out furniture, weird art. I loved it.
Thanks. I appreciate you saying that. That's really nice. That makes me feel nice. We actually, oh my God, should we tell everyone the crazy thing that happened when you came over?
Okay. So this is what I wanted to start with. So this is an update, guys. This is a Letterkenny. Okay. So a little bit of a backstory. The reason
I can't wait for you to tell the story. Okay.
Well, we're going to tell it together.
Okay.
Because, hey, we're a partnership.
Because we're a partnership.
So I
Hazel
came out to
6'5". Wait, no, 5'6".
Hazel eyes 6'5". If you're on my shoulders, we're 6'5". Which is a really cute visual. Wait, that's a photo shoot idea.
That's the poster for the tour.
Totally.
Me on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's actually.
And I'm holding spare. You're holding parts. Yeah.
And our eyes are like, they've kind of, they've done some sort of, I don't know, editing to make them really. Okay, so I was in Toronto for the Canadian Screen Awards for season 12 of Letterkenny. This was our last year being nominated for anything, which is crazy. I thought that was the year before, but no, season 12. So we decided to come out, and we were nominated for like director, casting, ensemble, a couple other things. I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything, as always.
So
a lot of talented people.
Yeah. And so a lot of, obviously not all of the cast, but a lot of the cast came out, and we kind of like made it a bit of a thing. And the night before the CSAs, we all get together in Evan's neighborhood, which is kind of far outside of like the downtown, in a really cute little borough. Sarah Gadden joined, as you guys heard last week. We made that plan. We followed through. Tyler was
awesome
there.
That we followed through. Actually,
I know.
This was literally just a plan to see Sarah and Michelle together.
Yeah.
And then Sarah was like, oh, can Tyler come? And I was like, yeah, for sure. What's up, Tyler? You want to come? And then Tyler's like, hey, I'm with Hersey. Can Hersey come? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Hersey can come. And then Dylan's like, what are you guys doing tonight? I'm like, we're all going to the bar.
Yeah.
And then Dean and then Clark. And it just kept
growing. Yeah. Nadine and Clark were there. Okay.
Plan. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a plan. It just happened as we knew it would. And so we're sitting at this cocktail bar, all of us, the night before the final season of award shows of Letterkenny, where we're nominated for Best Ensemble. Okay. Get that in your thick skulls.
Yeah, you dum-dums, listen.
God. And then we're sitting there. Guess who walks by?
Guess who walks by?
Alex DeJordy, aka Devon.
Crazy. It was like
season 1.
And it wasn't even like he didn't even just walk by. He walked by quickly with someone. I didn't see him. Nobody saw him except for Tyler. Tyler goes, was that DeJordy? And then we're all like, no, it couldn't have been. He's like, I'll be right back. He gets up and sprints out of the cocktail bar and chases him down and is like, yo, you gotta come hang out with us. It was
crazy. So I saw him too. And then I looked at Tyler and I went, okay. Yeah. And I went, go get him. And so he runs out. Okay. I mean, he was on his way anyways. He didn't need me to tell him to do that. We were getting Alex. We had to.
So it was funny.
It was like the universe.
Dude.
Alex walks in. This is also, for everyone listening, this is the first time any of us have really seen Alex in 8 years, or even talked to him, right? Like him leaving the show was kind of the end of our relationship with him for many different reasons, none of which are like bad blood with him. Obviously, just kind of the way life works sometimes, right? Yeah. Like it's complicated. We're all working. We didn't also... I don't know, whatever. So he walks in, he like is white as a ghost, kind of looking at all of us. And then we kind of say hi, we have a hug. It's like, what the hell? And then Alex and Tyler exchanged phone numbers. And then we all ended up going to Evan and Alana's place for more drinks. Alex then calls Tyler, and then Alex comes over and we just have a kiki.
Like a night, like a whole night. Like we're drinking and we're reminiscing and we're chatting and we talked about everything. It was so interesting. Interesting.
And he was there with a date, I believe, or a friend. I'm not really totally sure. And
a pal at the very least.
Yeah, at the very least. And she's there just kind of like observing this thing. And Alex, I hope he doesn't mind that I am saying this on his behalf. He was just like, I've thought so many times over the last 8 years about running into you guys. And it's kind of made me like anxious, and it's also made me excited. And then to see you all together the night before the final night of Letterkenny, really.
It was crazy. The serendipity of it, the universal, like I don't believe in like the universe doing stuff personally, but that kind of shit, when that kind of shit happens, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are the chances? He doesn't live in the neighborhood. He was just walking by the one cocktail bar where we were sitting at the window, happened to see him. It was like the chances of all of these things working out on the final day. And like, I could have bumped into him a million other times in Toronto.
Yeah, he lives in Toronto.
I was with all of you guys though. We were all together. And then so he came over, we had so many drinks, and we had like, he's a really like in touch with his emotions guy. Yeah. So he was really good at like, especially articulating his feelings about, you know, leaving the show and about like seeing us again tonight, and how grateful he was about seeing us. And like, it was exactly how I was feeling. I was like, I'm so thankful that you're here and that we have like some resolution, some kind of closure. Cause it does feel kind of like you just like lose a limb. Like when your like castmate leaves and you can like check in, you can catch up, but it's like, I don't know, you're not on the same show anymore. But now the show's like done, and it kind of feels like you can, I don't know, regrow your limbs. Like, I don't know.
Well, and I think I would actually love to have him come on as a guest. And I think we need to make that happen and talk to him about just where he is now, his experience, and he'll speak more to it. But a little tidbit was like, you know, for him, leaving the show right before the show, for lack of a better term, kind of blew up, was really, must have been a very complex situation for him, because he's getting noticed on the street and talked to all the time about Letterkenny, this show, and then also seeing all of us together in this kind of familial group. Yeah. And now he's on the outside, and yet he's like tethered to it and us. I think it was probably like pretty traumatic in a lot of ways.
I'm sure it was super fucked up for him. I've thought about, from my perspective, it was fucked up as someone who was kind of like coming in to fill a void as well. Yeah. Not nearly. It's like a drop in the bucket compared to whatever he was dealing with and like observing that. And then he said like really nice things about my acting.
Yeah.
And that like really like resolved something for me as well. I was like, oh, that's so nice. I'm glad you're not like mad at me and like that you think I did a good job like taking up the mantle a little bit. Like that was like it was a very emotional night actually.
No, it was hugely emotional. He and I had like side chats that we needed to have just like person to person. He seemed so good. I'm so just like impressed with the man he is. And again, I think we should have him on if he would want to do that.
To speak to his own experience. I know.
Exactly. So we'll leave it there for now. But it was, guys, it was so, I'm sorry, it was so West Coast woo-woo bullshit. Like all of it's real. What is his sign? I should have found out his birth chart because but it was really serendipitous, like you said. And I think it kind of, it has made me feel a lot of resolution and to have the end of Letterkenny be punctuated with a little bit of a full circle healing, if you will, was really cool.
Always amazing. And like, that's the kind of stuff that like people don't see the behind the scenes of a show and like how it gets made and all that sort of stuff. But there's a lot of like unresolved stuff because there's hundreds of people who work on a production and over the course of a decade, like think of any job you've had for a decade. Probably not many, right? Like there's very few jobs that you hold that long. So like so much happens and it's like, I don't know. I just feel very thankful that we got to experience like that.
Yeah.
On the final day, like so fucking weird. And we also had like Sarah Gadden over to my place who like, I love hanging out with Sarah.
I love her.
She's so fucking good. Oh my God. And Clark and Nadine showing up later that night too, just being like, they were on the East End having a drink, like totally on the other fucking end of the world. And then they came over.
I was going to go meet them. Yeah. And then we were like, wait, we need to join forces. Alex Jordan is here.
Yeah, and they were like, okay. And they just like came right over. It was awesome. It ended up being a wild night.
It was a wild night. There were tears. There were laughs. There were many cocktails. You made a beautiful cocktail. What was that cocktail, actually?
What would I have made you? I could have made you... No, it was like
bourbon, lemon. I think it was bourbon.
Did I make you a bourbon cocktail? It might have been what would I have made you? I'm trying to think of what I could have made. What was I slinging that night?
Yeah, you were in cocktail mode.
Yeah, I was doing some daiquiris, some Americanos. I think I made someone a Toronto, but I don't think it wasn't minty, was it?
No.
Okay, that would have been that.
It might have actually been a daiquiri because I just feel like it was a dark liquor.
Okay, it could have been a dark rum daiquiri. Yeah, I did have a couple Navy strength daiquiris that night, so I was making some drinks, and then we went to the CSAs. Like the next night, we actually ended up going to the Canadian Screen Awards, and Michelle presented.
That's the big news of the night.
It is though. Like I was waiting I was waiting for you to come on the stage for so long because I knew you were presenting 6 awards, and I kept leaning over to Oana going, I think they cut Michelle. There can't be 6 awards left. Like
and there was somehow.
You were great.
Thanks.
You were so nervous, but you were great.
I was so nervous, and I just sort of decided I'm just going to go up there and read the I'm not going to wrap up, but I'm just going to get the information.
But that's what you need to do. They wrote her part as if it was kind of like Letterkenny, like way too wordy, so much dialogue, like no other presenter that night. Every other presenter's like, sound is really important because we got to be able to hear the show.
Each other.
Here are the awards for Michelle was like, only once in a lifetime do you come across someone who becomes such a, it was this like,
no, I know. I was like, and I should have maybe done some rewrites, but I just kind of went, no, I'm just going to read exactly what they said. And it was fine. Honestly, like some of I wouldn't say they were hard hitting jokes.
Dude, you're starting off with bear with me. That was the first thing she says when she comes out. She goes,
I've got many awards to get through. Yeah, and it was and Jacob is who I sat next to, and we were dying laughing because he's like, you're so girl. You're presenting all the girl categories.
Was that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, hair, makeup, styling, like casting. He's like, because you go.
Oh, and like, my gay grandpa, my gay grandparents won like all those awards, and everyone who came up was dressed amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Like that Scott guy with the huge bow tie.
And then Victor, who won, I'm forgetting his last name, but he was
from Mexico,
costumes from Canada's Drag Race.
Yeah.
He came up and then we had like a little kiki after, and he was like,
"Oh, did you good?"
Yeah, he's like, "I really want to paint your face," and I was like, "I want you to paint my face as well."
I want him to paint your face so bad. Everyone who won those awards were crazy. Every person who came up was dressed amazing and
chic. Yeah.
So chic, which I love to see at an award show because it's like, what the fuck else are we doing here?
Yeah, and like it was, it was a long.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. It was a long award show. I think there's maybe some edits that could have been made. Not that we don't want to sort of honor
award
each
everyone.
category, but it's also
the only people who deserve awards
Canadian.
Are actors. And
no, but it's so deeply Canadian to be like, all right, and now best sound design for Walking in the Snow for a preteen web series.
Honestly,
like everything was honored. It was
best
hilarious.
sound design for Walking in the Snow in a preteen web series now. Who was it?
It was the show that took everything home, Paw Patrol.
Yeah. Paw Patrol on top of the world.
Cleaned up.
Do you know where the Spin Master person lives? Like,
no. What's that?
Is this public information? Spin Master is like the thing that owns the entire event. They own Paw Patrol. They also gave out the award that Paw Patrol won.
Oh, it's
like hosted by Spin Master.
Yeah, right.
They're a bajillion-dollar company. I don't know if this is public information or if I shouldn't be saying this, but the person who owns it lives kitty corner to, and it's like that converted church. It's like a $30 million converted church that you would never know as a house.
It's a house?
Like,
it's one house?
It's their house. It's crazy.
House? I don't know why I'm saying that.
Such fucking hosers, buddy. House.
That's crazy.
It's one of the coolest properties in Toronto. Totally inaccessible. Totally weird. I've never seen
lots of security guys don't show up there.
Dude, you can't get in there if you wanted to. There's like barbed wire and shit.
No, we got to get in on. I actually talked to me being in my network era.
Yeah.
Me talking to one of the guys that like runs Paw Patrol. I was like, I'm starting to do some voice work. I'm like, get me into Paw Patrol because you guys are going to be around for a long time. There's some longevity there.
Does this sound like a little kitty cat?
I'm like, do you want to see my dog voice? It's really cute. I'm actually pretty good at like a little voice.
He's like pressing the buzzer in his pocket to like for the security guard to pull you away from him.
No, we were vibing out. He was a big Letterkenny fan, or is a big Letterkenny fan.
Fuck. Well, I shouldn't have just doxed him. Shit.
No, he was cool. He had a good sense of humor, but it was a really nice night. It was
Invite us to your house.
Invite us to your home. I don't think it was him.
Oh.
I don't think it was the guy who owns the company.
I don't know.
Who knows?
That was a fun night though. We drank. We continued the night.
Oh,
this was the weirdest part. This is okay. The night is kind of wrapping up because they always kick everyone out super early because they don't want everyone to be wasted at the Canadian Screen Awards. So
full light.
Yeah. So they close the thing at like 10:15. Like it's like so early.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, fuck, where do we go now? People are pitching the worst possible venues, like just garbage bars and stuff that I'm like, if we all showed up looking like we came from a wedding, we're going to attract so much attention. It's going to look so fucking weird.
We're all wearing suits and dresses like absolute idiots.
Yeah, we look insane. So I was like, let's go to Civil Works or Civil Waterworks. It's the Civil Liberties in the Waterworks building downtown. So it's this totally unique venue, amazing cocktails. Oh, for fuck's sakes, it is a unique venue, okay? It's got a huge ceiling. It's a converted waterworks facility. Fuck. Yeah, I'm not going to continue this podcast. I swear to God. We go there and I walk up to the manager there that night. His name was Jorge. And I was like, hey, Jorge, my name's Evan. Just want to let you know, I'm coming in with a few people from the Canadian Screen Awards just to like prepare him for what was about to happen.
Which is the worst 3 hours of his life.
Dude, you don't even know. So in my mind, I'm expecting maybe 16 people are going to show up who are going to follow us from the previous venue. Because who knows how much word got around. So they're like, okay, so for now, like we'll put you over at this corner table. Meanwhile, Nadine goes, oh, by the way, we're only going to be like 8 to 12 people. And I was like, no, Nadine. We're not. And she's like, shh, shh. And I was like, oh, she's like doing a thing. We get put at this corner table. We're standing there. I watch 10 people come in. And I'm like, oh, fuck, we're a lot more than I thought. 50 seconds later, I see 10 more people come in. Yeah. This happens over and over and over until we are 60 people.
I think that's a little bit high. I think we were around 40, give or take. We were
between 40 and 60 because we were enough people.
We were a wedding.
We were a fucking mini wedding. We were a
small chic wedding.
Dude, they hosted the fuck out of us though. They pushed all the chairs aside in this one corner of the building and we all got to stand up and they took our orders individually.
Cash and carry, which is like so thankful for that. Can I also just say, we were as somebody who worked in the service industry for a long time, I was like, I went up to them and I apologized to all of them.
Yeah.
It was like this. You go up to a group of 4. It's like, okay, what do you guys want for a drink? There's no beer. There's no wine. Nobody decides to do something sort of chill. They go, I want a Mai Tai and I'll have a dirty martini. And then I'm going to have a blended daiquiri. And then I'll have a spicy margarita, like one of
60 people.
Cocktails.
Yeah, but they're an amazing cocktail bar. Like they hook it up. They're so good at cocktails that they actually nailed it.
But I was watching the bartender individual shakers of their one cocktail. It's 2 a.m. Like I did feel bad. We were obnoxious. I hope all of our agents, because we didn't pay for a goddamn thing, I hope they all tipped really well.
Barb got you covered.
Barb is... God, agents are...
Barb's a little lion, a tiny little lion.
Such a tiny little lion.
She's such a little lion. Michelle's agent is very little and very powerful.
Mm-hmm. She's got presence.
She's got a lot of presence. She's so funny.
And she just can roll everywhere with you. Like I could take Barb to any function with anyone and she's like so fun, so engaging, so kind, so like resourceful.
Very resourceful. Very hooking it up, making sure that things go well. Yeah. Meanwhile, my agent is the exact opposite of your. My agent is so tall and so big.
Lovely.
Adam. And they talk together. So it's like this
they're friends.
So they're like looking up and down at each other. It's very sweet. Adam's a big boy. I always feel like I'm walking around with a bodyguard when I'm with him.
No, I liked his vibe. It was nice to meet him. And it was just, it was good. And then again, Clark showed up, which was great.
Dude.
Kayla, oh my God, big news.
I met Kayla Lorette and she's hilarious. She's a perfect person, funny, incredible, looked pretty, amazing in her dress, held her award with a plum. She was she was everything Michelle described and so much more. Michelle's actually terrible at describing people because Kayla's so great.
Okay, do you understand why I talk about her so much now?
100%. Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Actually, in my mind, I was like, this person can't possibly be that good. But she is.
Better.
She's better. She's great. She's really funny. Better. She won an award for best writing on an animated show as well that night. No? Okay, best voice. Great. Really?
Yeah. Best voice.
She didn't win the writing award too?
I don't think so.
Okay. We're going to have to get her to come on the podcast and do the voice now so that I never forget it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the show, it was like...
Doomsland.
Yeah. Which is like...
Spirited Away.
Well, I was going to say a spiritual successor to Gary and His Demons because it's like a Mark Little thing, right? Like, or he's in it at least.
I'm so not up on animation.
It super doesn't matter. We're going to have Kayla to talk about all of it when she comes on.
Oh, yeah. We'll have her on. She's the best. It was so nice to like see you two together because Kayla and I also cried laughing because Kayla and I are so smug about our origin story. And this was very much like our night to kind of be at this. And because we're now writing partners on a couple of projects. And so
successful, independent people who became successful in their own rights came back together.
Yeah.
After childhood.
But yeah, we're childhood friends. It's just so weird that our lives are always kind of like circling each other and we have very different trajectories and have had very different careers, but are so connected always. And we've been
Double dragon.
Yeah, we've been friends since exactly that. And we are very like, especially if we've had a few drinks, if anyone stops long enough, we're telling them our origin story and we think it's so charming and everyone's kind of like, great.
Cool. You guys were in an improv group together? That's cool.
And we're like, we're the worst and we need to just talk to ourselves. But you humored us and it was really nice.
I was delighted. I mean, I talked to Kayla a bunch that night. She made me like, she gave me a lot of perspective on you, which is funny.
Oh my God, like what?
Like just like different perspective. Like knowing your friends gives you perspective, right? Like don't you feel like meeting people who are adjacent to you? You're like,
Yeah.
This is who you choose to spend your time with.
And can I just say one little story about Kayla and I as children?
Oh my God, here it goes again.
It's going to be short and sweet,
Everyone
I swear.
Roll your eyes with me.
I know, everyone's like, mute. But like, picture this. Friends usually in high school aren't like grades apart. So we are not the same age. She's a little bit older than me.
Very cool.
But we were friends, and we don't even know how this started.
Kind of loser of her though.
Well, but I was like kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I kind of like I'm a bit of an old soul. Like what can I say? And I think she clocked that at me, and she was like, okay, but we weren't ever going to hang at school because like that's not really it. But she would pick me up from my house at 6 a.m, and her and I would go get McDonald's breakfast because she had a car. How cool is that? And then we would go and watch like the sunrise down at the beach and just die laughing, go to school and be like, see ya. And then just have our own separate days and lives. We just had this breakfast thing. It's
really
Isn't
beautiful.
That weird?
It's like Little Miss Sunshine or something. It's like an indie movie thing that you guys just curated on your own. It's very beautiful, very strange.
We're like, why did we do this? We just needed to have our own little time together that was just in our own world. I don't know. She's another person that's like, the universe has put her in my life for a reason, and we've always felt this way. So anyways, I'm going to shut up now.
Maybe her and Alex DeJordy are supposed to meet and fall in love.
Oh my gosh. Hey, the world's crazy. But yeah, it was a beautiful night. It was really, Jacob won Best Directing, obviously, Jacob. As he should.
He gave the most beautiful speech about directing us. And I told him very much that it warmed my heart so much. It meant the world to me, his words. It meant a lot. It was
He dedicated his award to us, which...
Oh, no, wait, he's listening to this. He's listening. He supports our podcast. Blech, never mind. Forget all this.
No.
No, don't say nice things about Jacob.
No, sometimes he deserves his flowers. And that was
He sent me a text being like,
generous.
fine, we'll make a Are You Afraid of the Dark?
He's up on it.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I was like, okay, sorry. He's like, you feel better now? You feel better now? He's like,
actually, yes.
You do. Fuck you. First of all, fuck you.
And second of all,
number 2, congratulations for winning Best Director.
Best Director, yeah. Yeah, and he really is the best director. Like, Jacob
Heated Rivalry.
Oh, yeah, it just got announced.
It's coming out.
Jacob Tierney has a new show that he's filming right now. It's called Heated Rivalry. It's going to be on Crave. Hopefully Hulu as well. I don't know. I didn't see if that's going to be available in the States, but it will get picked up in the States somewhere.
Totally. I read some of the script. Super funny. Very good dialogue. Written by Jacob. And it's based on a bunch of super horny hockey romance novels.
Yeah, so get excited for that.
If that doesn't give you enough information, I don't know what does.
Yeah. No, it was a really, obviously we won Best Friendship between ourselves, but lost Best Ensemble. But that's okay. We did.
To Children Ruin Everything.
Yeah.
Shout out to
well deserved.
Shout out to Children Ruin Everything. Some lovely folks on, and also the little kids were a part of the acceptance speech. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? This means a lot. This is like really nice. It's always nice when kids win awards, man.
It's cute. It's very
so cute. Never give an adult an award.
No, we don't. We shouldn't be allowed.
We don't need them. You know who needs them?
It's a bit pathetic, actually.
Children need awards because when they get them, they're so lovely. They're like, this is nice. I'm like,
yes, nice. Thank you for this.
Meanwhile, all the adults get up there. They're like, my agent, my art director.
She's really fucking hard.
Yeah, it's hard to be up here, man. And so many. The Canadian Screen Awards are very funny to me because I am the number one lover of Canadian content. I fucking die for Canadian content. I love it. I fucking love it. But the Canadian Screen Awards are so funny because Canadians are so self-deprecating about our own content despite trying to celebrate it at the same time. We just can't.
Tough for us.
It's so hard for us to shut the fuck up and just be happy that we won something or are there. It's always it's the Canadian industry.
So it's a bit of skill, but it's mostly luck to be up here. There's not a lot of ego in the room.
No,
interestingly,
there's no ego. It's it's almost like we're such soft creatures. Everyone who's winning is oh wow,
yeah. What? Okay. You guys should all have won instead of me. I'm an idiot.
Basically
it's very that. Yeah, it's very that.
I'm an idiot.
I'm actually an idiot. I'm really not talented, and I'm going to go to school instead.
Obviously, some mistake has been made. I don't know why I'm up here.
Yeah, it's that.
Meanwhile,
if
I ever win a solo award, I'm going to get up there and just be a fucking prick. Like that time Tyler Labine won at the
Tyler Labine.
Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about? He wins an award. Tyler Johnston and I and Hersey watch this video all the time because we think it's the funniest thing in the world. The British Columbia, what's your union called?
The Leos.
At the Leos, Tyler Labine, who was in Breaker High with Ryan Gosling, like they were like the best friends in that show in Breaker High. Mm-hmm. He wins Best Actor for like, I want to say it was like Preacher. Maybe it was called or something, but it was years ago. This is years ago. If you look up Tyler Labine acceptance speech Leos, he gets up there and you got to just watch. He's like, first of all, I just want to thank my number one supporter, my long lady of the night, my penis. And then he starts talking about his penis for like 40 seconds. It's great.
Whoa.
It's a wild acceptance speech. It really is. And it's like, I guess it kind of is like disrespecting the awards. But it's also kind of funny for me, at least. I'm not years later, I'm talking about it. So
I mean, I guess it is sort of a fine line because I do think it's important to not be like, like as we've discussed with certain actors winning Oscars and stuff, which is like an incredible award. What an incredible honor, of course. And it's not a Nobel Prize. You didn't cure cancer. Like, you know what I mean?
Between Tyler Labine and Adrian Brody.
Yeah, there's got to be a middle. There's got to be a middle.
Where you're like appreciative, but you're also aware.
Realistic of like, that we're talking about a make-believe land that we work in.
Meanwhile, both you and I are going to get up there someday and just be weeping.
You know who was weeping? Surprised me. Melanie Scarfano won for like a web series lead or something, right? Web series lead?
And it wasn't. Yes, for the
web or in
TV movie lead.
TV movie. Thank you.
TV movie lead for Winona Earp Vengeance.
Very well deserved.
My wife was one of the jurors on the category for.
Oh, cute.
Alana. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mel's so great and obviously, but she was sobbing, crying. And I've never seen her be that sincere. It was
she was following
shocking.
her peers, apparently, like because Emily had won the previous award and like
for writing
and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like so she was following all of her peers winning for the same movie. And so she was like really emotional. Okay, and then she got on stage and she was like, oh no.
It was really cute.
So keyed up already.
Yeah,
like it's like
cute.
You watching Jacob win, thanking you, and then you winning.
Oh,
and you
I would have felt nothing.
And Kayla,
I've been like, thank you.
Thank you to my long lady of the night, my vagina.
My vagina. And then that's all I say, and then I leave the stage.
Oh, God. Okay, so what else did you want to talk about?
It was a great night. Obviously, I think the Alex DeJordy of it all was really crazy, very symbolic. I'd love to have him on. And I think we just wanted to kind of catch up with you guys and tell you that story because it was so surreal. And I just know the audience of Letterkenny. Devon is kind of this like enigma. There's a lot of lore around him. And we will try to get him on to sort of like talk to him about how he approached Devon. Because we also did give him his flowers and we saw him about his work on the show because he is such a talented actor. And
exactly.
So it was cool. But I was going to say, Ev, because we're already at 42 minutes. Oh. Would you like to do some Spare Hearts questions? Because we have a backlog.
Yeah. Let's do it. Spare Hearts. But I have to issue a slight alter. His name is Tyler Labine. So I should have gotten that right because it's Tyler and Tyler. Tyler Labine. And the show was Reaper.
I was going to say, what did you say? Preacher?
Yeah, I said Preacher and Taylor Labine. So if you're looking it up, Tyler Labine.
Everything is wrong that Evan said. Wrong and strong.
Wrong and strong. But I also have to kind of, oh my God, Nadine comes yelling at me. She's like, that's exactly what And so Tyler and Nadine both so happy you said that on the podcast that I am wrong and strong. They're yelling at me all the time about the things I say.
They're always yelling at you. You're always in trouble. You're always a little bit in trouble.
I'm always a little bit in trouble. Like,
you are.
Fuck down, everybody.
I know. Everybody needs to take a deep breath. Jeez. Hey, life isn't so serious.
It's not that serious. And you know what proves that? This question from... Let's go.
Okay. And away we go. Hi, Michelle and Evan and fellow tartlets. I'm a 29-year-old woman who lives in Toronto. Oh, it's the superior Canadian city. Sorry, Michelle.
Shit. Strong. I like it.
And I've been with my boyfriend for just over 3 years. We're best friends. We laugh a lot. We love each other and each other's families. He's my favorite person still, but the romance part of our relationship isn't as strong anymore. He doesn't plan dates. Our sex life is becoming less and less frequent, and I find myself wanting attention from other men. I guess I feel a bit ignored at home. It makes me feel guilty because, pardon me, I don't want to be shallow like that. But when I bring it up to him about the romantic issues, he dodges the conversation. I also have a work crush who's been flirting with me and messaging me, and I like the attention, which makes me feel like a bad person. I don't want to cheat and mess up my life with the man I love, but I also don't want to have a life void of romance. I should probably go to therapy, right? Haha, thanks for the help.
I like that end. I should probably go to therapy, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely don't just consult us, but
yeah.
What are your initial thoughts there, Ev?
My initial thoughts are, I love the fact that you are coming forward and letting your guy know. I think it's important to let the people in your life know what you want from them. You know what I mean? But then also, you got to do a little bit of the heavy lifting, it sounds like, and see if he's willing to meet you there. So you got to be the romantic one. You got to make some dates happen. You got to add that spice on your own. If you're seeing that after bringing it up to him, he's not taking the initiative, he might be going through something. I don't want to I can't speak to whatever's going on in his head right now, but whatever it is, he should be able to meet you wherever you're at once you put in the effort too. Cause it's usually a two-way street. It's usually not just like one person being like, oh, I'm not, it's little things. It's the daily, it's little things. Like when you're walking by your partner, a little rub, a little touch on the butt, a little rub on the back, a little kiss on the cheek. Like these things go so far, and like making a coffee for them, like tiny moments in your day that just shows you care about them. Yeah. And, a little squeeze here and there, right? Like it doesn't mean that like, oh, now you're gonna have full blown sex in the kitchen on the floor, which like, probably.
Sticky, weird, dirty crumbs.
Get away from here, Dewey. But what you want though is, I think, more romance in your life. So it's like you have to be, I think, the propulsion in that system. If your words aren't getting across enough, maybe your words aren't in the right place. Maybe he's not listening properly. Could be a combination of the two. Make a little bit more of a shenanigans happen. I don't know. What do you think, Michelle?
Yeah, I definitely. I think there is. It can't be all in one person. Can I say something a little bit problematic?
Fuck the guy at work. Fuck the guy at work. Cheat on your boyfriend. Fuck the guy at work.
No. No. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I think there is like, when it comes to kind of, heteronormative dynamics, I think women do get turned on. I'm making huge generalizations here.
Yeah,
so if this doesn't resonate with you, that's
You're stupid.
Fine. No, that's fine. But in my experience with the women in my life who are dating straight men, there is like a sexuality component about being pursued as a woman in order to feel sexy. And I've heard a lot of psychologists talk about like Esther Perel talks about how a woman, her sexuality and her feeling sexual is dependent upon her feeling like confident in her sexuality. And that comes from within. But I think your partner also needs to be kind of like hyping you up. And I think that goes both ways. Like I think men maybe need different things. I can't fully speak to that. I think from what I've read, it's kind of like, come over
and be like, oh, Evan, your bicep's so big. And I'll be like,
I bet you could hunt a large animal for me.
Yeah, look at that.
I think there is a little bit of that kind of like, people need different things. And totally. I'm speaking to a very heteronormative like POV here, but she seems like she's in that type of a couple. If she's getting attention from work and it's like scratching that itch, that's like probably something that is a red flag, because you shouldn't be like, oh my God, this feels so good. Like,
it shouldn't be like
you
that
shouldn't
obvious
be starved
that
for
you're getting your attention elsewhere. I think there's there's people often say that the way relationships die is not through like, a big fight or something like that, or for like, huge breakup that happens all of a sudden. Usually it's like gentle resentment over time. Yeah. And contempt. And one of those contempts builds from like not feeling desired, not feeling wanted. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to broach the topic of desire with each other. You know, and maybe couples counseling is an option. I know this is such a serious answer to like go couples counseling, but also like a more fun version. Ask him about his fantasies.
Right.
Tell him about your fantasies. Open the door to something new. Try something different. Be adventurous. Be exploratory. Like, I think you said 3 years has gone by. 3 years is like a good amount of time to really be comfortable to let somebody know exactly what you want. Is there something you've been wanting that you haven't been asking for, or that you've not been willing to accept about yourself that you wanted to try? Maybe now's the time to fucking just throw the Hail Mary. Be like, let's try this. Or what do you want to do? Because maybe there's something you can build from there. I don't know. Like, you just need a spark, and then the flame's there again.
Do you think she should tell her mans that there's a guy at work that's flirting with her, or do you think that that's manipulative and weird?
Honestly,
I don't mean tell them in like a threatening way.
No,
or
I know
like,
what you mean. Be honest, like an honest way.
Yeah, be like, but then that would be toxic. I don't know.
That would be my last resort. So I'd be like, my first resort would be like, let's try and protect his ego there for a bit. Then if nothing is working, if he's not willing to budge at all, but it sounds like that's probably just not going to fucking work. But like, yeah, like I just wonder if that's ever.
I know,
ever an option to let somebody know? Because like if Alana was like, hey Evan, but Alana would. It's so hard to put myself.
I don't mean be like, hey, just so you know, I'm getting a lot of attention from this other guy, and I like it. I don't mean that.
No,
I just mean
there's a guy at work who's flirting with me a lot.
Yeah, he's like and kind of like.
He's coming over tonight. Do you want to fuck all together?
Do you want to fuck? No. You could be like. I don't know. I do think, first of all, transparency is important. I wouldn't be sending messages back. Girl, don't be doing that.
Don't do any of the like.
Don't participate in it, because I think there is something maybe to being like, oh my God, this guy from work like sent me this kind of flirty message. Like, let your partner be in on your life in that way. And like, I don't know.
If he's your best friend, you guys are as close as you say you are.
Yeah,
he should be able to accept this in stride. To be fair, but the fact that you're feeling so much about it, I don't know.
I know it's a bit complicated. Okay,
because he might be like,
yeah, like why do you guys have a whole
exactly? What do you mean?
And then he punches a hole in the wall.
No, worst guy.
No, I think
men stop punching holes in walls. It's not hot. It's not
hot.
It's not what you think it is.
Me going, it's not hot.
Michelle loves all. She checks for spackle whenever she enters a guy's apartment. She's like, oh yeah, this is a good one.
Hey, I like intensity. What can I say?
No, for God's sake.
God, no. None of that.
Michelle, okay, so Michelle's the toxic one.
Yeah, none of that. It's an absolute joke. No, but I think there is a lot of like what Evan said. If you want a little bit more like spice in your life, step one is being like, okay, I'm going to put on something that makes me feel sexy, whatever that is for you. Who knows? And plan a date night, light a candle, kind of like create that environment. And if he's still not picking up on it after an amount of time, I think it's fair to be like, hey, I need to talk to you about our intimacy, because I feel like I'm putting myself out there and you're not meeting me, and it's actually kind of making me feel like shit. And if he loves you as a romantic partner, not just as a best friend, he's going to care about that.
Yeah, that's true. And there is a potential, like, I mean, not to be the guy who's like, well, you're young, but this is the age where you're kind of with people for a couple years and then you realize you're not compatible because you're changing and he's changing. Like at this stage of your life, there's a lot of change between in your 20s, and you aren't necessarily going to be with the person in your 20s that you are in your 30s. Like it's because you're both changing so much. So it is possible that you guys just like grew out of each other, which is okay as well. And
it is okay as well.
Can remain friends. That is possible. Sorry
but
to say,
you don't want to sign up for a life void of romance. I think
fuck no, especially not now. Get out of here.
No, or ever. Like I do think being in a relationship, like it's not going to be honeymoon phase forever, of course, but you want to be always kind of like competing against other people to be the person that your partner wants. Like, I'm serious. I think it's important.
It's a wild way to frame it, but I love that that's your angle. I think I think sex should always be tight. You should always be like, sex is tight. I enjoy sex with your partner, right? Like,
and but I don't mean in
get
like
to a place where you're like fucking like desperate for it. And you're like, damn it.
No, and it's not about other people or comparing. And you have to allow people to just be.
Fight a guy every week for your love.
No.
Good thing you picked such a strong, strapping, tall, big lad.
Gorgeous man. I know.
Gorgeous man.
But I just think that it's like you don't want to get complacent.
No,
so, and everybody has different like desires, different levels of like sex that they want. You have to sort of figure that out within the couple, and everyone's different.
Totally.
But if you're feeling like, it seems you sound a little insecure within the couple because you're like now starting to look for outside validation. And that is something to note. And that is something to maybe take serious. Sounds like you are, and start working on. So
it sounds like you're taking it seriously because you're reaching out to us.
We're kind of therapists.
We're professional. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at this.
So I don't know. I think that's my advice. And I feel like that was enough. I mean, we're at the hour mark.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
So you're like, yeah, fair enough. Cause I actually, that's valid. I do have, guys, I'm going to, do you like when you're working on a show, like if you don't sign an NDA, are you just like, who cares?
No, because I always feel like it is a little bit.
But you still
like
get fired.
You want to wait.
Right. Well, guys, I gotta go learn my lines.
I haven't booked a job.
I booked a job. Thank God. I gotta keep working, you guys.
Of course.
The Canadian industry is so hard.
It's so hard out here. No, but it's great. I'm so excited for it. How long are you going?
So it's fun. I'm only gone for a couple days, and then I'm going back again later next month or at the end of this month. Yeah.
How many episodes? Can you say that? It's a TV show, right?
I think it's we'll call it a guest star. We'll call it a one-off.
Great.
Which is what I love doing now. I love the idea of being like in one episode of a Canadian show, showing up, having a nice little chunk, little piece, getting out of there. Because it's fun. You get to, it's like a movie.
People. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I always wanted to do that when I was younger. Like I always saw the same actors show up and be like a real, like solid character, like do character acting. And I loved that shit. I was always very drawn to character actors.
And that's what you're doing. This is kind of like a character-y.
Yeah, every role I do is like some fucking gremlin of a person, right? Like It's very rarely that I come in and I'm like, "Hi, I'm a lawyer and I'd like to we're gonna do your case." Like, "Oh, I'm a doctor at a doctor's office." It's like never been. It's like I collect human bones. Like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
And they're like, "Why walk when you could grow?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've lost the ability to stand up straight because of all the human bones I consume. Like,
oh, I can't wait to see this. Well, congratulations. Go learn your lines. Yeah, well. And guys, next week we'll be coming back with a Letterkenny episode recap, so don't worry.
Yes.
But we just wanted to share the kind of like, this was a very interesting week of like ending. I mean, I felt emotional and I was like, why am I feeling so emotional? And it really was the closing of a chapter in a lot of ways. And yes, we have this podcast and that keeps the relationships kind of anew and, dissecting things. And as we grow as artists.
Very different though. I feel like the podcast for me anyways is like this much more, I don't know, we're everything's so chill now. Like we're so able to just like celebrate the work we did and have fun with it and chat about it and like really get into like the specifics of like how everyone's experiences were on the show that lasted 10 years to work on, like it's going to be exciting to bring on people who, had different experiences than us. Cause we were together for so much of it and, it'll be interesting.
It's going to continue to be very interesting. So thank you guys for listening as always. Thanks. We'll see you next week. And Evan, I love you.
I love you too, guys. Don't forget to rate the podcast and review it and to leave comments on the YouTube video.
Please,
it's very important right now. Now more than ever. Please,
okay? Stakes are high, you guys.
Stakes are high. Please leave reviews. The reviews are important.
We could be in trouble. Things could go awry. We love you so much. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.